Hey guys, going to be talking to you today about the Brazilian Golden Visa. Why Brazil? What the Brazilian Golden Visa actually offers you and the practical steps to acquire it. For those who don't know, my name is James Rocks. I'm originally from the UK. Today I'm coming to you from London, but I've actually been living in Florianópolis, Brazil for the last 11 or so years, and I wouldn't change it for anywhere else. So let's dive in. So why Brazil? Well, I'm back in the UK for a bit. The weather is lovely, the sun is shining, it's warm. It's not usually like that here. One of the things that draw people to Brazil is the amazing tropical and subtropical climates, where actually for most of the year you're guaranteed really nice weather, and it's a pleasant climate as well, particularly in places more south in Brazil as well. You get that variation with the seasons as well. The people, I think that's one of the biggest things that draws people to Brazil. People are so welcoming, friendly, it's easy to make new friendships. As a foreigner, you're very well accepted. People are excited to get to know you. Lifestyle, I think Brazil for a lot of people as well, it's about lifestyle. There's a lot of social freedoms. It's a very outdoor place. It's very vibrant, lively, colorful. One of the things, I think it's beautiful actually being back in the UK, but one of the things my son, who's spent most of his life here, in Brazil, says to me is, this just feels so bland in comparison to Brazil. Brazil is just so much more colorful and vibrant, and there's a real sense of adventure being in Brazil. Life is very rarely predictable. Also as well, depending on where you are in Brazil as well, it can be very safe. I live in the south of Brazil in Florianópolis, great infrastructure, European level infrastructure, very safe. As a family man, feel fine with my children walking to school, feel fine doing stuff like this out and about as well. Brazil can get a bad rap in certain places, and that's warranted. You've got to remember, it's a huge country and it's very varied, but there are some spots that are just very pleasant to make a new life for yourself. Brazil is a country as well. It's a country that has everything it needs. It's a country that produces its own food and a lot of the world's food as well. Raw materials. Brazil is one of the richest countries in the world in terms of its natural resources, its water supplies. If the world goes to pot, if everything goes wrong, even if nuclear war broke out, Brazil would be a good place to be in comparison to anywhere else. So one of the things about Brazil is it's a great place to relocate, particularly if you're looking for a cheaper cost of living as well. And it can either be somewhere where you make it your new permanent home, or you have a backup plan. If things go south, you've secured yourself a residency to be in Brazil, the right to be there. And for some people, that's what the Golden Visa is about. It's a backup plan. It's an insurance policy. And the Brazilian Golden Visa is one of the most accessible as well when we're talking about buying a residency somewhere in the world. So what does the Brazilian Golden Visa offer? Well, it offers a 4-year investor residency where you can live in Brazil full time or come and go as you please. To maintain your residency, you only need to spend 15 days every 2 years in Brazil. So after 4 years of having an investor visa, you can then switch to a permanent residency, providing you've kept your original investment and you've spent a minimum of 15 days in Brazil every 2 years. The permanent residency will allow you after 4 years, so 4 as an investor visa, 4 on an investor visa, 4 as a permanent resident, to then naturalize and become a Brazilian citizen and get a Brazilian passport. And in the grand scheme of things, it's quite a strong passport, and it gives you a right to remain in Brazil permanently as well, as does a permanent residency that you need to renew every 9 years. what are the things to be aware of? For the first 4 years, to maintain that residency, you need to spend 15 days in Brazil every 2 years, or a week every year to make it simpler. You need to maintain the property that you invested in. You're not automatically a tax resident in Brazil. If you're not spending more than 184 days whilst you're on an investor visa, which is a temporary visa, you're not automatically a Brazilian tax resident. Now, when you switch to a permanent visa, in that case, that implies that you're living in Brazil full time, that you are a resident, and then I would say seek some advice on your tax situation and how to best optimize that. Now, how do you go about getting the Brazilian Golden Visa? First step will really be to get your CPF number. That is your Brazilian tax ID. You can do that by going to your nearest consulate, booking an appointment, taking your ID, passport, perhaps take something with your parents' name on it if it's not in your passport, like your birth certificate, full birth certificate. If you're in Brazil, you can go to Receita Federal. You can go to the taxman's office, book an appointment, and fill out the necessary forms there, and you're on your way. Having a CPF number doesn't mean that you are eligible, liable for tax in Brazil. It's just really a way of recognizing you. Then the next step is really to buy a property, an eligible property in the south of Brazil. That will be an investment of 1 million reais. So the dollar amount is about 195,000 with current exchange rates. In British pounds, that is 150,000 pounds, okay? For a house to meet the criteria, it has to have the correct documentation, what they call an escritura pública, which is the title deed. It could be a house, it can be an apartment in an urban area, or it can even be an apartment that's under construction, providing it has what is known in Brazil as incorporação imobiliária. That's already been registered through the proper channels. Now, I'd encourage you that when you are considering real estate for the Golden Visa, that you work with a reliable, experienced real estate agent who is experienced in helping internationals acquire property for the visa. Okay, so you found your property. You put in an offer, it's been accepted, you want to move forward. What's very important then, as you come to closing, is how you transfer the money into Brazil, and making sure you do that correctly, because you will need a currency exchange contract, contrato de cambio, for you to apply for the visa. So it's an investment visa, so money is coming into Brazil from outside Brazil. So it needs to come from an account in your name, because you don't do this as a company, okay? It would come into Brazil in your name for the purpose of property investment. So it would either go to a developer or the seller. Now you can set this up with a exchange bank, which I'd recommend you do. We help our clients to structure this properly, and then you close. And you know, that final payment and closing happen together in Brazil. You can either do it remotely from abroad, or you can be in person at the registry office signing. Okay, so once you have the title deed issued shortly after closing, you can then apply for your visa. Okay, you can do that outside Brazil. You can initiate that process outside Brazil. At some point you'll need to come to Brazil to take your fingerprints, your photo, to generate your ID, or you can do the whole process in Brazil as well. So you can do that with the federal police, Polícia Federal. So that basically, in a nutshell, is the process for getting a Golden Visa. In Brazil, in the state of Santa Catarina, I run a real estate company called Rocks Investments. We're specializing in helping international clients relocate or invest in Brazil. And when it comes to the Golden Visa, we offer step-by-step help. We'll link you with all the professionals you need. We will help you with the paperwork. We will help you find the most suitable type of property for yourself as well. And Santa Catarina is undoubtedly the best place to live in Brazil for quality of life. That's not taking anywhere away from some amazing places in Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, but having traveled a lot of Brazil, having lived in the northeast of Brazil, I would definitely say that Santa Catarina is the place to be for a number of factors, and I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, learn more about the state of Santa Catarina, learn more about living and investing in Brazil. And if you would like to know more, please get in touch as well. My details are down below, and I look forward to hearing from you.